Well, I believe that wind power is one of the energies of the future. It's clean, it's green, it's always there. You don't have to worry about it depleting, you don't have to worry about it hurting the environment. I'd be very proud to be involved in something where my children and grandchildren know that it helped their future.
I believe in wind power because it's a clean, fixed cost source of electricity.
I just like the interaction of wings with wind. The whole lift equation and all that stuff. It's been something I've been enchanted with since I was a little kid.
I believe in wind power because the green nature, I'm very excited about the renewable nature, but also because I see the need in rural America. I see the need among landowners throughout the Midwest, the area that we're familiar with, and what a great need there is for a supplemental source of income.
I think the resource for the community is good. I believe for the country it's good. And it's just an all-around good turn for most people.
Just seeing what wind can do for our energy needs throughout the country. I think it can relieve some of our need for coal and some other fossil fuels that we don't need. And wind is there on a yearly basis and will be there for generations to come.
Well, I had been involved in various oil and gas ventures through the years, and I realized that as I moved through some of the areas where we had oil and gas leases, that wind was becoming a force. And so I went to the wind school and learned about it and found OwnEnergy when I was at the wind conference a few years back, and decided that they had the best model that I had seen available.
This whole business about reducing our dependency on imported oil is what attracted me. And I like it because it leaves no carbon footprint at all. And for my landowners, it's a renewable resource for them. That's why they call them wind farms and not wind wells. They're harvesting a crop they could never harvest before.
We got involved initially to save the family farm. We inherited the family farm in 2008, and it seemed to be a good way to supplement the income coming off of it.
I actually got my start in energy development over in Europe. We were working on big industrial gas plants, and I was working in Spain, and I was the renewable energy guy on the team. So hey, you know, look at all that weird new renewable energy stuff was the job that was given to me, and kind of found wind that way. And it was neat because in that market it was all these sort of local entrepreneurs who had gotten these projects going but needed help from a real energy company to get it across the finish line. And that's where my old company came in, and that's what gave me the idea for this company.
Well, my name's Marty Yonner. I'm a 6th generation farmer here at Yonner Brothers Farms. I'm in partnership with my brother Rick, and we raise cattle, about 500 head of steers annually for slaughter, for beef, and we're farming about 2,200 acres of corn, oats, wheat, hay, and soybeans. Whenever OwnEnergy first approached us, you know, it was all foreign to us. You know, the whole concept of, you know, community wind and their business model. Sure, we had lots of questions, more questions than answers, of course, and it took us a few months to get comfortable with it and decide whether we even wanted to take part in it. But as we learned more and gathered more information and got some answers to our questions, we got more comfortable.
Marty's a terrific example of one of our local partners. He and his family have been in that community in western Pennsylvania for 6 generations. Marty was somebody who lived near the area where the project was going to be developed in the project footprint, and we were connected to him through the local university, which has gotten the project started. And Marty just ended up being sort of the local spokesperson and the local boots on the ground, if you will, for that project, which is now operating successfully.
OwnEnergy is unique. I think when Jake formed the company, he did a couple things. He said, I think wind is going to get closer to load. By that I mean closer to cities. He said, I think that the average size of a wind farm is going to get smaller, and that the value of local participation is going to grow. It's the value that they bring to help you site the project correctly. I think on all 3 counts, Jake was correct. And the way that we put this together was in every project to partner up with a local person, an entrepreneur, give them equity, give them a real voice, give them real responsibilities, and honestly give them a chance to make the type of profit that we make, which is based on long-term ownership. So it's a unique model. It's different than what everybody else does. We're one of the only people in the country for whom these entrepreneurs can actually go to and say, I'd like to be involved, I'd like to have ownership, and I'd like to make a difference.
There are some big developers out there, such as multinational corporations, but they're mostly looking out after themselves versus the local landowner. I was a local landowner who wanted to be able to have a say in the usage of the land long term.
We're not the company from New York coming out and doing our development activities. We're doing projects that have a smaller visual footprint impact on the community, but it's more as far as what makes it easier is the fact that we use the local entrepreneurs to partner with.
They approached me and I did a little scouting around, had a decent reputation. The more I got into it, the more I respected the company. They have a profound respect for each community that they enter, and I'm very proud of that because I'm proud of my community, and they treat that place with respect, and I'm really glad about that.
I like the people that I talk to. It's a person-on-person kind of company, and I like that.
I chose to work with OwnEnergy because they offered a program where a little guy like me could use their resources and develop a wind farm near my own land.
Honesty, integrity, financial backgrounds, the principles, all those things added up to the partners we like to do business with. I mean, we're business owners since 1870, and that's the things we look for in business partners, are those three things.
We were looking for a partner that would allow us to participate in the project and would be able to leverage our local skills in our interaction with landowners, our knowledge of the ground that we work on, and our knowledge of the resource.
The concept seems to work well with what the community wants, and that community ownership or the possibility of having all community members benefit from a project like this.
They helped us do the things that we weren't able to do on our own.
It takes a lot of training and a lot of know-how, but that's also kind of the beauty of our business model, because you need these two very different things. You need a big national or international company that can deal with other big international and national companies, but you also need a lot of local input and a lot of local content and a lot of local just understanding of how that community works.
Whenever OwnEnergy came up with the pro forma, the data about the payment and what we could expect as payments for our royalties and leases, and we went to St. Francis University, to their Small Business Development Center, and they looked at the numbers. We got an independent third party to look at it, and it came back actually even better than OwnEnergy had said it would be.
He is the kind of person we like to identify with. He's an entrepreneur. You know, Marty, when you asked Marty to do something, when you told Marty that something needed to get done, he just went out and got it done. And that's why Marty got equity in the project, and I think that's why Marty made, you know, hopefully a good return.
My reputation was on the line as local developer with my neighbors. You know, I wanted to make sure I was telling them facts and the truth, and I didn't want them coming back on me and thinking that I told them things that I shouldn't have, just to get them to sign a document. And, you know, I've said it many times that we've been farming the land here for 6 generations, and now we'll farm the wind, and that's a good thing.
We've made some strides, but I think this is a big stride, a really big stride.
You know, we're out here to support each other. No one's in it for themselves. We're here for the greater good. Both of our team members, our industry, our local partners, the communities in which we work. It's all about everybody collaborating as a team, again, to get more great wind farms built. So that's kind of what keeps me going.